Mr. Pustai, I do apologize. I'll have to jump in there. We're crossing over to Tehran, where Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, Esmaeil Baghaei, is holding a news conference. We'll listen in and come back to you.
Our country, during the last 2 years, we have lost so many of your colleagues from Iran, in the region, in Lebanon, in Palestine. They all lost their lives for the sake of doing their job. They have accepted the job because they have duties to be done. We have lost so many of our beloved ones. You can see the pictures. They work in the media, in news, in culture, and in so many domains. We appreciate them very much, and we send a big salute to all our martyrs who lost their lives for the sake of our country and for the sake of the mission of journalism. The coming days are very important. The death of the Imam Rida Mujtaba, and my condolences for their families. I'd like to say at the very beginning a lot regarding the developments on the diplomatic level, and we start a question from the radio and TV. Salute to you, Dr. Baghaei. We express our congratulations for the Journalists' Day, for the journalists and all the activists in the media domain. Regarding the news of the last week, they have been dealt through so many media outlets. Tripartite agreement between Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. Do you have anything to add? Because we need to know, how is your evaluation towards this matter? Is it a geopolitical turning point in this region? Is it a union amongst the three countries? And also, another viewpoint that says this union is to face parties from outside the region. What can you say? We can say that this development is a turning point in the awareness of the region's countries of the developments that are happening through the last 2 years, and still security is not a good that you can buy from the liars. The policy of Iran was also concentrating on calling the countries of the region to cooperate, to increase the mutual trust, to increase security, because this region doesn't need players from outside. And this development in itself must attract attention, because the countries of the region, after the October development 3 years ago, and the talk about the continuation of the occupation in Palestine, the attacks of the occupation against Lebanon and in the region, the countries of this region have reached the point that stability and security and cooperation between the region's countries is the most important thing for the region and for the entire world. What is being done by the Zionist entity has changed the idea, the illusion about the greater Israel, and attacking the sovereignty of countries in this region with attacks against Lebanon and against Syria and threats to so many countries in the region, including some countries that are there in this tripartite agreement. This means that the awareness is more strong now, and the region must not be left under the illusion of achieving security through America. America is part of the lack of the security in the region. America is one of the causes. The Americans are supporting the Zionist entity. The Americans are supporting the Zionist entity politically and on the security level. Without America, the Zionist entity will never be able to do what they have done and to continue what they have did, and they continue their crimes. And because no one can ask them or take them to the courts. So from that point of view, we need to understand that the security in this region is part and parcel of the stability of the region. Any idea that is based on the geopolitical rules in the region to determine who is the enemy in a proper way, this can have a chance to increase the security levels and to prevent any state of instability and to stop the Zionist entity and its allies in the region from achieving their goals. A question from Faris News Agency. I'd like to send my congratulations on the occasion of the Journalists' Day. There are some news about the closure of the Iranian school in Kuwait. And also there are 4 Iranian citizens in this country, in Kuwait, that are facing troubles. So how can you evaluate this matter? Regarding the 4 Iranian citizens in Kuwait, we are following up this matter, and unfortunately, the government of Kuwait is ignoring the international laws in this regard, and the Kuwaiti government hasn't allowed the Iranian consulate to talk with our citizens. This is a legal thing, and we hope the government of Kuwait will reconsider that matter and that decision that is against the international laws, and to pave the way for those Iranian citizens to get their freedom back. Regarding the Iranian school, this is a very strange move from the Kuwaiti government, and it's a sort of retaliation from the innocent pupils who are using this school for education purposes. This is something that cannot be justified. The Iranian school is operating for decades, and the decision of Kuwait is a political decision. Our embassy in Kuwait is following that matter, and we hope it will be sorted out soon. Generally speaking, we expect the regions of the country, the countries of the region, including Kuwait, not to escalate, not to do these things, and we need them not to allow the Americans to use their territories in attacking Iran. This is what we expect. It's not a big thing. It's a normal thing that can indicate how good our relations are, and this goes with international laws, because using the territories against us will never make our relations better. Question from Press TV. Chad and Venezuela have asked to withdraw from the International Court of Justice, the ICC. How can you assess such a decision? And how can this decision affect the whole situation? Also, sacking a judge there because he's against the Zionist entity, how can you evaluate this? These countries are not the only countries who asked for that. Before these two countries, some other countries have gone through this way, and this is an indication that makes it clear the international community is not optimistic. The International Court of Justice has been established to follow up those who want to go without being taken to justice. The tests during the last few years were big tests due to the America's position and Americans' views regarding the National Court of Justice. It must be helped to be a success. We need to follow people who have committed genocide against the Palestinians in Gaza. America has threatened the judges of the International Court of Justice, and this has led to some countries to try to find some other alternatives. There are some other countries who were given that job, if we call it a job, to be members of the International Court of Justice, but we must follow up any violations that can happen over there. So many decades after the World War I and World War II are quite important for us to face the international crimes. But what is being done now is a massive retreat, and America and some other countries are ignoring the crimes of the Zionist entity, and they are not willing to follow up the perpetrators of these crimes. A question from Iran newspaper regarding the security agreement between Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. The Turkish foreign minister spoke about this matter, and also putting in mind that Turkey and Pakistan are having good relations with Iran. This agreement between Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey was described that it is not against Iran. What can you say? I will tell you what I have said a few minutes ago. There is no reason for two neighboring countries, Turkey and Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia as well. We have good relations with them, with each country, religious relations, historical relations, cultural relations, and civilizational relations. There is no single reason for us to feel worried about this agreement and to feel worried because the people say the agreement might be against Iran. No, the friendship between Iran and Turkey, being Muslim countries, also the cultural relations between our peoples, between Iran and Pakistan and Turkey, are quite clear. And as I said, this development is an indication, an important indication, that the countries of the region has reached that conclusion, because they cannot, no one can rely on America's claims that America will achieve security for the region, and they must understand that very clearly. These countries are testing a new method, and these countries are trying to depend on themselves, on their viewpoints, in a very independent way, away from the interference of outside forces. Question from Ina News Agency. Assalamu alaikum, Doctor. During the last 10 days, what has happened in the Caspian Sea and the document related to that matter. Some people say there are some pressures in this regard. What is the viewpoint of the Foreign Ministry of Iran? In any time, at any moment, when you want to sign a document or a treaty, you can choose the time and the place that suits you. And when it comes to the fact that this document has different dimensions, not only on the foreign levels, but on regarding also the capacities and the decision to be taken by Iran regarding the Iranian national interests. We depend on the top interests of Iran to consider anything, to sign any agreement, or to sign any document. The decisions in Iran are being taken according to the interest of the Islamic Republic of Iran and according to the wishes of the Iranian people. So 4 countries have coastals on the Caspian Sea, and if these countries want anything, a document or something else to be applied urgently, you know that not every country has signed the document. That's why the document is not applicable for the time being. And these countries who want to apply a document in order to be on the safe side, then they must call for the document to be signed by all parties. And we need also, and they need also, to put the interest of the peoples in this connection. During the last 20 years, we haven't reached a point where this document can be discussed by the parliament. This matter is also quite connected with the developments that are being made and being considered and being examined because of the current war. So the Islamic Shura Council in Iran, according to certain laws, so we at the Foreign Ministry are doing our job in this regard to make some clarifications, to do some briefing, and to listen to different viewpoints of different parties. And after like 7 or 8 years, to take a decision regarding this document will be in the Islamic Shura Council of Iran. A question from Eastern News Agency. I just want to ask about the situation of Turkey and Pakistan, who said that some other countries can join the tripartite agreement between Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan. Does Iran have a wish or whatever to join? Some people talk about an Islamic NATO, if we could call it. And what can you do? What about the Strait of Hormuz and some sanctions against this? Let me tell you, because you've mentioned this matter now, I spoke about the situation of the Islamic Republic of Iran. We are following the mechanisms that considered to be the basis of such treaties. We need not any outside powers to intervene in our region. The tension is still there. Something can happen. Some changes might occur, but in cooperation with the countries of the region, we hope all the countries to learn the lesson, to study well the developments of the recent years, and to work hard to strengthen the collective security in our region. Question from Noor News Agency. Regarding the visit of Trump to the United Nations, do you have any plans? Allow me, when we approach the time of these meetings, we can talk about that. There is no final decision regarding this matter. Now, as you know, the Islamic Republic of Iran participates and represented by the president in these meetings. We are part of the United Nations, and we try to make use of this meeting, and we need to benefit from this chance this year. And regarding the developments, we will talk about the details during the few coming weeks. During the few last days, there were technical and political negotiations between Iran and Oman regarding the navigation in the Strait of Hormuz, and probably you reach a final result. But some officials in Iran said that reaching a result in this negotiation is not a well enough condition to open the Strait of Hormuz. What are the conditions that must be available to open the strait? Logically speaking, the Strait of Hormuz was not closed because of differences between Oman and Iran. It was closed because of the American attitude. The Americans want to seize an opportunity, and also because of the American bases in some Gulf countries. So, talks between Iran and Oman for the sake of determining the passage of the navigation in the waterway is an important matter. The results of these talks will include some other countries, and our mutual talks with Oman is quite important, with a certain goal, which is the navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. To open the Strait of Hormuz, there must be certain conditions that and some other things that have been imposed on Iran must be lifted. We should understand that we are still in the war. The American Syrian blockade is ongoing, and The United Nations laws say the maritime blockade is an act of aggression, and if this case goes on, so the circumstances might change, and the Strait of Hormuz must be a safe waterway, and this will never happen within the American current policies. And the Americans have violated the Memorandum of Understanding to put an end to the war. These American attitudes must stop, and then we can talk about other things.